Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and finally it's time for another horror review video. I know it's been a while since I made one of these videos, but I thought, well, better make a horror review video because it was such a long time ago. Um, Now that sounded really stupid when I said that, but yeah, today's horror review is going to be of a film called Turistas, and this film is directed by Jan Stockwell. I do think I recognize his name, but I haven't seen any of his other films. I'm not too sure, but um, this has Melissa George in it. I think she's the only actress in this that I actually recognized. She was in Triangle, and she was also in 30 Days of Night. Uh, but yeah, this film is about these group of people. They're like on vacation or like backpacking through Brazil, and they're sitting on this tour bus or whatever. And of course, they get into trouble because this tour bus is pretty much just they're crashing with the tour bus. That is so. They're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. And of course they have problems with that because they've been told that they have to wait for like hours before this other bus is gonna get there. So, but then there's like two locals that approaches them and says that there is like this bar or whatever down at the beach where they could just relax for a moment. So they think like, oh, better go down there while we wait for the bus because there's no point in just sitting here waiting by the road. And of course, unbeknownst to them, there are some people down at the bar that have some sinister plans for them. What type of plans they have for them, I'm not going to spoil because I don't want to. I don't want anything spoiled for you if you wanted to watch this film. But overall, I thought this movie was really good, and I think it's has some really great gore and blood effects, and it's quite brutal as well. And I was thinking throughout this entire film that this really feels like Hostel, but in the jungle. And I'm not really sure why, but I think I have sort of like a soft spot for films that takes place out in the wilderness, like out in the jungle or like the woods in general, because it seems like there's much more complicated like way of shooting your film out in that environment in general. And yeah, I really like that. And the thing is that in the beginning and like in the first like 20 or 25 minutes, you sort of feel like, oh god, I hate these damn people, I just want someone to kill them. Because in the beginning it's just, I mean, I have to point this out because this movie has a terrible soundtrack, and then that's when it comes to the music. I just couldn't handle some of that music, especially not the rap music in this, which I thought was annoying as hell. Um, so that's like the biggest like downer for me when it comes to this film, the soundtrack. But the score itself, I mean, if you just have the musical like instrument, the score is really good. So if you just cut out that stupid rap music, and I mean, it would have been so much better in my opinion. But surprisingly, even though I really like despised most of these characters in the beginning, I sort of like started like slowly to root for them more and more through the entire film, like the longer into the film you get, which is quite surprising because I just hated them the first like 20 minutes. Um, Now, this particular release has two different versions. One is the rated R version, and the other one is the unrated version. And of course, I decided to watch the unrated version because I just think, well, maybe the R-rated version has been cut down in some way, like one way or another, because that's most of the time when it comes to these different versions of films. So I decided to watch the unrated version, and it has some pretty good blood and gore effects. And I'm not too sure what they did put in or what they did put out in the rated R version. But yeah, I really like the atmosphere when once they're in the jungle. It just feels like they're in the middle of nowhere, and I mean, it was actually shot on location in Brazil, like out in the jungle as well. So that really helped for the atmosphere. And there's some great sequences, like in like underwater caves, which I thought was amazing. Um, yeah, this is. I mean, if you do like Hostel and those type of films, and you just want that in another location, check this one out because I thought this was really amazing. So I would give this a 7 out of 10, and you have to know for sure that I'm rating the unrated version, not the rated R version, because that version I've not seen yet, but I'm probably going to watch that at some point as well. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for this one. But I have to say that this cover art is boring as hell. I mean, I know I did a video quite recently when I talked about cover arts and how amazing some of them are. This is just this is like lazy, really lazy, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's pretty damn entertaining anyway. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for this one. Sorry, I've been mumbling for almost 6 minutes now, but yeah, that's my review of Turistas. Thank you very much for watching, and keep your eyes open for the next video, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.